A school district in the Rio Grande Valley has a $15 million deficit going into the school year. Regional water reservoirs are holding steady today, and Texas will soon update its electrical grid with a U.S. Department of Energy loan. This is South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Thank you for joining me. It's Friday, August 21st. The Edinburg Consolidated Independent School District Board is facing a $15 million deficit for the next fiscal year. MyRGV.com reports that Adele Felix, interim superintendent and chief of finance and operations, told board members during a workshop this week that the district is in a financial crisis even with a proposed budget. She said that no new money is coming in, and the deficit also accounts for an estimated 800 student drop. A presentation projected enrollment for 2026-2027 to be over 31,000 students with an average daily attendance of over 24,000. It's been on the decline when compared to 2018 enrollment of about 34,000 students. Taking a quick look at regional water reservoirs, the Texas Water Development Board's water data dashboard shows today that Lake Corpus Christi is at 91.1% capacity, Choke Canyon is at 23.9%, Lake Texana east of Edna sits at 91.8%. Reservoirs for the Rio Grande Valley show Falcon Reservoir to be at 24.2% capacity, Amistad at 38.3%, and Red Bluff at 46.3% capacity. Corpus Christi returned to Stage 2 drought restrictions earlier this month. There was discussion amongst the City Council this week of the idea of easing restrictions even more, but nothing to report at this time. The City of Brownsville also eased their drought restrictions this month from Stage 2 to Stage 1. The state's electrical grid will soon get an upgrade thanks to a $3 billion+ loan to AEP Texas from the U.S. Department of Energy. KEDT's Lon Gonzalez has more details.
U.S. Department of Energy Undersecretary Kyle Haustveit was in the Coastal Bend this week, visiting several areas as part of the closing of a $3.26 billion loan to AEP Texas.
You know, the grid is growing, Texas is growing because it's a great state with great policies. And this loan is going to save Texans over $685 million over the life of the loan.
The investment with AEP Texas is part of the Working Families Tax Cuts Act, with a predicted savings to over 1 million households and businesses in the state over the next 30 years. Haustveit added the state's electrical grid will benefit the most from the loan.
Funding is going to invest in over 80 projects, providing thousands of jobs. And beyond the direct savings that I mentioned, that'll go right to hardworking Texans that are relying on the AEP Texas grid. It's also going to invest and provide durability. You know how important the grid is. Texans know how important it is to have their lights on when they need it, on the hottest days in the summers and the coldest days in the winters.
Relative to energy, the Working Families Tax Cuts Act will discontinue other related topics like specific clean energy subsidies, but the subsequent loan will help secure reliability in the continuing efforts to upgrade the state's power grid. In addition, AEP Texas is a supporter and underwriter for KEDT. I'm Lon Gonzalez for KEDT News.
Residents of a small historic community along the Rio Grande in South Texas are taking the federal government to court over border wall construction. Landowners in San Ignacio, about 35 miles south of Laredo on the U.S.-Mexico border, say contractors entered private property without permission. Federal officials dispute those claims. Texas Public Radio's Tim Gutierrez reports.
Chanting "No Border Wall," about 60 protesters marched outside the federal courthouse in Laredo. Many came from San Ignacio, where landowners are fighting border wall construction they say is crossing onto private land. Tricia Cortez is with the Rio Grande International Study Center.
This is a very small historic community that has this unique ability to push back against the federal government.
Residents along the Rio Grande from Laredo west toward Big Bend National Park have formed the No Border Wall Coalition to oppose new construction. The coalition says San Ignacio landowners have temporarily stopped work on disputed property, asking a federal judge to halt construction while the case moves forward. I'm Tim Gutierrez in San Antonio.
The criminal case against the former head of the Texas Lottery Commission returns to court today. Texas Newsroom's Lucio Vasquez reports.
Gary Grief faces a felony charge tied to a controversial 2023 jackpot. That year, a group spent roughly $26 million buying nearly every possible number combination and won $95 million. The drawing sparked years of scrutiny. Lawmakers ultimately abolished the Lottery Commission last year, and a Texas Rangers investigation later led to Grief's indictment. His attorney calls the prosecution politically motivated and says Grief committed no crime. I'm Lucio Vasquez in Houston.
And the U.S. Health and Human Services Department is considering streamlining some federal Head Start requirements, giving states more control. KERA's Sujata Dand reports providers worry that could affect child care programs in Texas.
Well, that's okay, we could share.
2-year-old Tariana Horton squishes pink Play-Doh with 2 classmates at American Care Academy in South Dallas. She's been coming here since she was an infant. It's one of about 1,000 Head Start sites in Texas, serving more than 68,000 children. Tariana's grandmother, Marquito Craig, says the free childcare allowed Tariana's mother to finish high school and now work in a hospital.
If they're not in the Head Start program or if they don't get any type of assistance, you're talking between $1,200 to $1,500 a month. I know we don't have $1,200 or $1,500 a month just to be able to spend on childcare.
Head Start doesn't just provide federal funding for Texas families. It also sets standards for staffing, safety, and accountability. The Trump administration wants to eliminate some of those requirements and give states more control. In Texas, some standards are far less strict. In Tariana's classroom, Head Start caps class sizes to 4 2-year-olds to 1 teacher. Texas licensing allows as many as 11.
It's insane. I've had that before, and I could not keep a teacher very long.
Patricia Williams runs American Care Academy and has been in early education for more than 25 years. She says smaller classes give teachers time to do more than simply supervise toddlers.
This helps us to better structure the classroom, and it helps us to better create a learning environment for them. Because at this age, they really need for it to be personal, because they just left their moms for the first time.
Texas already has a complicated child care system. Roughly $4 billion flows through several agencies and programs, each with different rules, funding streams, and oversight. Governor Greg Abbott created an early education task force to look at how that system could work better. San Antonio Spurs owner Peter J. Holt chairs the group.
The lens that we've looked at it through is more around marketplace and a marketplace efficiency. What is the cost to serve? What is the cost of quality?
Holt says it's too early to know what changes to Head Start could mean for Texas, but he says the state's fragmented system already creates problems.
Challenges with data sharing, challenges with funding mapping, challenges with serving certain populations.
Holt says reorganizing the system could make it more efficient, but childcare advocate Melanie Rubin says those efficiencies won't free up enough money to help Texas families. Right now, there are about 9,000 Dallas County children on a wait list for Head Start or other subsidized childcare.
The current system is not sufficient to take care of them at all.
Rubin worries that if federal Head Start requirements go away, maintaining things like smaller classes could put even more responsibility and cost on the state.
A very key missing component is the funding piece, because we know to really do key systemic and sustainable change, we need more resources for our youngest children.
Back at American Care Academy, Director Patricia Williams worries that loosening Head Start standards could jeopardize the care those rules were created to protect.
I would not feel safe. I probably would be looking at how do I exit. When you take that away, we're going to see something a little bit different in our country that we probably don't want to see.
As Washington considers giving states more control, Texas will have to decide what maintaining that care and its quality is worth. I'm Sujata Dand in Dallas.
And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.